This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IPA Livecast. This week the Livecast welcomes our friend, Dave Hill, back to the show. Dave just wrote a new book about the awesome game of hockey. I am personally looking forward to the chapter with the oral history of the Vince Neil Zamboni commercial. Our IPA Livecast starts now.
That's right. One of the greatest moments in hockey history. Welcome to RIP, a livecast. Rob here with Sid and 3D, and we are very excited to welcome to the show Dave Hill. Hello.
Hey!
Welcome.
Welcome back.
I don't know why my background is blurred. I want you guys to get the full sick look. There we go.
Nice. That is sick.
Yeah, I'm just in a tasteful kitchen.
Is there like cereal boxes in that cupboard behind you? What do we got?
It's a fridge.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there's nuts. It's my sister's house.
Oh. Nice.
But there's a fridge. Like, this thing's a fridge. It's pretty cool.
Way.
Dave, could I tell you, you're in very elite company right now. The only guest we've ever had before this to show us their fridge during the interview was Alex Skolnick of Testament. So it's you and Alex now.
That feels good. I love Alex. I have some very metal related stories I could tell about me and Alex.
Do it.
I'll just as an amuse bouche. Is my saying that? Is my mic working? Oh, my mic isn't hooked up. Sorry.
Yeah, we're coming through your computer mic here. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh man, hang on.
Left me hanging with
velvety.
this.
Well,
with
while
this
Dave adjusts his mic, I want to mention Dave Hill's new book, The Awesome Game. One man's incredible, globe-crushing Hockey Odyssey is out now. Available
Can you guys
in
hear me
all
now?
fine bookstores.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it better? It's better, probably, right?
It sounds
about the same. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds about the same.
You might have to change your audio setting.
I'm sorry. I'm a caveman. I'm a monster. No. Oh, okay. How about now?
Say more stuff.
Yeah, now it's definitely the microphone. Well, maybe.
More stuff?
Yeah, it still sounds about the same.
It's definitely the microphone. It says it's the microphone.
Okay, yeah. No,
I guess what we're experiencing is just that my microphone it's a blue snowball.
Oh, once you pull it closer, you could tell it's the mic.
Oh, okay.
Is that a microphone or a camera? It looks like a webcam. Are you talking into a camera?
No, it's a thing. I don't know.
Oh,
I've seen
now it
those
sounds
things.
a little better.
I've seen YouTubers using those things.
Yeah, they're really hot with YouTubers and TikTokers.
So I don't know if you heard the intro of the show, Dave, but we mentioned the Vince Neil Zamboni. Are you familiar with Vince Neil's Zamboni writing?
No, I mean, this is like, since this book has come out, I've realized how many holes are in the book, and this is just one more of them.
Yeah,
for
the
second edition, you could add chapters.
Yeah, perhaps for the paperback expanded.
Yeah.
I do want to just enlighten you about this very quickly. It's this. Let me just share my screen. Here we go. It's
oh my God!
This is very important.
Getting vertigo watching this.
How long this dragged? There we go.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah! All right. That loan approval machine rocks.
That
Oh.
last shot is the best.
Amazing. I have so many questions. First of all, why doesn't he have enough money that he doesn't have to do a
The answer is no.
I guess not. I mean, clearly. And then then I don't know. The Zamboni, I would argue, is irrelevant. They're probably like, what if we got you driving a Zamboni for absolutely no apparent reason?
It's a bucket list item for him, so he worked it into the contract.
I get the desire to drive a Zamboni, but I more like feel like it was probably like someone who was making the commercial had a buddy who runs a rink, and he's like, "Bro, come on, just bring him by, have him ride the Zamboni." He's like, "That'll be good."
There are
Well, you would
multitude
think
of
that-
questions in this commercial. I mean, but my favorite thing out of all the things, there's the backup Motley Crue dancers portraying scientists that are discovering the best formula for loan approvals and all that stuff. My number one favorite thing is that there's a knockoff Motley Crue song, and he's not singing on it. That's the
that's why it sounds
They
okay.
can't afford that.
Yeah. I was gonna say the vocals are too good.
Yeah,
it's clearly not
right.
him. And then the sexy lab coat women grabbing suggestive of what they're grabbing, these levers and such. Yeah, that is stunning. Where did you find that?
Oh, well, it's actually, two things you mentioned that I'd like to note. First, you asked, does he not have enough money? Which we cover Vince Neil exhaustively on the show, and that is always a question that we ask, because it's like, why is he still doing this stuff? And the only conclusion we can come to is he is absolutely broke. Because why is he doing these solo shows that with embarrassing live footage that ends up on, all over social media?
And
so he does need the money.
Immediately after, he'll finish the Motley Crue run of dates, and then it'll be like, oh, I'm going to go play, not in tertiary markets, but where would they be? Quaternary markets? With the shitty
Yeah, it's always like the Louisiana County Fair.
The Poughkeepsie Civic Center.
Yeah. It's really something. I'm going to try to move my... I really don't like having the computer. It's not a flattering angle I have going here. But we'll have
beautiful.
Through it. I look amazing, but I don't know. Once I saw that Vince Neil commercial, and I was like, we all need to try a little harder, because Vince isn't trying at all.
Well, the other thing you mentioned was this something that just Vince Neil wanted to write a Zamboni? What if I told you there is a series of 80s stars like Stephen Percy and Flava Flav and Sebastian Bach in this exact commercial?
What? And they're all riding a Zamboni?
They're all right. Look, here's the Stephen Percy.
How much do our loans really cost? A $1,000 loan costs $5.50 per day in interest. Needed
We're
a
giving
week,
so much free
$38.50.
publicity here to Dollar Loan Center, but it's worth it for the comedy. It's the exact same ad. They kicked Vince Neil off the Zamboni, and they're like, Steven, get on. You're going.
So it's just a line of aging rock stars waiting to get on the Zamboni.
Is the Flava Flav one with the same glam metal song, or is it a hip hop?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
And instant funding.
I didn't know about the Flava Flav. Did we play that?
I just go round and round.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Oh.
That is what a Zamboni does.
I would have gotten, he doesn't need the money. Warren DeMartini. If you're going to go Rat, you got to go Warren DeMartini.
The Flava Flav one we had to have played because it's clearly shown as Visited.
You could have watched it.
And yeah, same song.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, could we get it? Let's get a quick shot in the office real quick. That'll be cool."
They couldn't even shoot different models. No. It's the same footage of models.
Same Frankenstein electro.
Yeah, G.
He didn't even mention loans or anything.
Wait, he's
like, all right, fine.
Was he not allowed to say "yeah, boy"? Is that copyrighted? He can't do it or something?
Yeah, G.
They wanted it to be non-gender specific, I guess. Maybe.
I guess
Women could get loans too.
It's just like
to
when,
his credit, I would say hands down, Flavor Flav looks the best out of. I mean, it's not really a high bar, but Stephen Pearcy, Vince Neil, and Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav is bringing the most heat.
Yes. Stephen Pearcy was very leathery.
Yeah, he looks. It's not. It's not the years; it's the miles, I guess. But as Vince Neil demonstrates, a little bloat will get rid of those wrinkles.
It's true.
Stephen Pearcy had a little Andy
trick.
McCoy.
It's a trick I use myself.
Oh,
just anyway, I don't know. I shouldn't be taking shots at those. I don't know what's going on with me. But what I wanted to say is, Alex Skolnick and we went to Gibson recently in Nashville and got I thought it was a Make-A-Wish Foundation because it was so amazing. We had the best time. We met Billy Gibbons. We got to hold his guitar. Well, Alex played it. I was too afraid.
Oh.
ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons for those who are like.
If anyone needs ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons, if anyone needs that, they should give themselves a timeout.
And go listen to ZZ Top.
Just mute the player. Keep it playing. But go listen to ZZ Top.
Keep it playing. I'm gonna grab my earbuds. So
he's gonna go put some ZZ Top on, so he doesn't have to listen to us.
He's gonna draw on a zamboni.
We had dinner. We had dinner with Cesar, and then also.
I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. Cesar from where?
From Gibson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
We had dinner at his house with Megadeth's Dave Mustaine.
Oh, we've heard of that guy. Oh, look.
Yeah. Is there a delay, or am I these just hot lines just not landing?
I think it just took us a second to register that you actually had dinner with Dave Mustaine. We were taken aback.
A lot of people don't picture us dining together, but it happened.
I don't know that I picture him dining at all. What was the dinner? Did he enjoy it? Was he sociable? We have so many questions.
He was a delight. I believe we had tilapia or some sort of fish. Very nice salad. We got in a heated debate about 38 Special. Even though we're both fans, somehow we got in a debate about it. No, he challenged me to name a bunch of awesome 38 Special songs, which was not hard to do.
Was this like the hipster gatekeepery? Oh, you say you're a fan. We'll name a song other than Hold On Loosely. Cool guy. Was he challenging you like that?
I think so. He was like, hey, don't just be dropping 38 Special at dinner if you can't back it up. And I did. And then he was like, all right, this guy's all right.
You earned his respect.
So what was the location? Was this someone's house?
Yeah, it was at Cesar's house.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The boss man at Gibson.
So that's cool. So it allowed Dave to show up, but also it gave him easy excuse to be like, I think I got to go in case things got a little unkosher here, in case you couldn't name the right 38 Special songs.
Yeah, if he was like, if you're just going to stop at Hold On Loosely. And then I was like, no, because I was going to say Caught Up in You also, and Rocking Into the Night. And then he's like, okay, I will stick around. Yeah, it was cool.
Did you notice any sort of quirks with eating? Like, did he not eat his vegetables? Does he only prefer seltzer?
He kept going like, hello, me, meet the real me. And I was like really confused.
Like, what is,
Was he just muttering it to himself, or was he saying it to people?
No, he at one point he said, "I want the pepper," and I said, "This is the pepper." That's a reference, of course, to the Peace Sells Who's Buying video where the dad. It's not very good. I haven't had enough coffee, but you'd see. I posted
understand
on
where you're going with that.
social media. I think it was Threads, maybe. And recently, I posted. This is very deep, but I posted. I said I was watching TV, and my dad came in and yelled at me that he wanted to watch the news, and I said, "This is the news," and he got all pissed off. And for the few people that understood the reference, it would really caused a lot of excitement.
Well, Dave Mustaine is watching, so he's happy that you shouted it out.
He is. I mean, I hope. I don't think I'm telling tales out of school to say that we discussed 38 Special at dinner.
Yeah. Well, I will be on the lookout to Blabbermouth in the next 2 weeks if he name drops you in headlines about how you betrayed his trust or anything like that. If such a thing happens,
I hope so. I mean, yeah. I mean, and I guess I got to backpedal. I honestly don't know if he ate the fish or not. I think he did.
Man,
I don't know.
I have terrible,
I just know.
Terrible luck with Dave's.
Yeah. No, but I did, and there was some. It was delightful. It's like some hummus, like appetizer. It's great. Lovely evening.
So, Ed, was there any mention of like Ellefson or Metallica or anything like that, or was there any music talk beyond the 38 Special?
He can't go to a whole dinner without it.
No, I don't think so. Really, I think we just kind of talked about other things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to think. I don't know. There may have been passing references to stuff. Nothing controversial. Nothing nothing that would make a blabbermouth headline.
Right. And he keeps his politics pretty close to the vest now after a little bit of a run about 15 years ago where he was a little loose-tongued, and I feel probably affected some of his audience. So since then, he's been a little more tight-lipped. Did you get into any sort of political discussion? Because
did he weigh in on the Israel-Hamas conflict over the tilapia?
Oh, well, no, that was this was before that.
I think
this was before.
hummus is horrific.
This was a couple months ago. No, we just mostly talked about guitars and cool stuff you would imagine. Few guys who just like to rip solos would talk about. He hasn't. Couple cool Gibson models that are out, or I think one, I don't know. We're talking about just sweet guitars. His tech, Brian Jones, was there. He's a really nice guy. Just a lot of guitar talk, string gauges, silicon versus germanium transistors, things like that.
Was there just like a room with stuff you could take home, like gear and whatnot?
No,
like a swag room at this guy's house?
No, not a swag room, but he has a sweet room full of guitars, and we went up there and played guitars. But I gotta say, like when you're in a room with Alex Skolnick and Dave Mustaine, I tend to get a little shy. I might just hit a couple open G chords and set it down,
You don't want to make them look bad. That's I understand. You're respectful because they're the musicians and you're just an all-around entertainer. So if you show them that you're a better guitar player than they are, then what do they have?
It would have bummed them out. But no, we went when we were at Gibson. Me and Alex went and Cesar. They have this thing, the Vault, which I believe is well documented. Again, I don't think this is a secret, but they have like just the holy grail of all, like first year Explorer, first year SG. They have like the sister of Greenie, the Peter Green guitar that Kirk Hammett bought and plays live, even though it's like a $2 million guitar. But and we played these guitars Cesar was so nice. Like these guitars are all valued at like $1 million, $2 million, and he's like, "Come on, let's go play him." So I was playing Alex was playing like a $2 million Les Paul. I was playing a bargain $1 million Explorer, and Cesar, I can't remember what guitar he was playing, but we were just kind of jamming and trading solos, and it's kind of intimidating sitting in a guitar circle trading off with Alex Skolnick. He can do a lot of cool guitar stuff in all genres.
Has he?
But I'm not-
Did he rap for you?
Rapture me like in a biblical
No,
sense?
rap for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
rap for
'Cause
me.
he had a little burgeoning hip hop career there for a while. I don't know if you
Side
saw
career.
about that.
When we talk, we mostly do speak in sort of rhyme battles, I have to say. No, he's the nicest guy in the world. He's a delight, as you guys well know, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had him on the show. He's been very
Well
very nice.
documented. Delightful.
Yeah, as I
fellow.
said, he showed us his fridge. It was
Yeah,
great.
I mean, as mentioned earlier, basically, when you want to talk about metal gods who show you their fridge, there's basically me and Alex Skolnick.
Yeah.
And then it's like your move, James Hetfield.
He never showed us his fridge.
Your
Next
move.
week. We have the book next week.
Your move, Nirgal. Nurgle.
What is the proper pronunciation there? Do we know?
Nurgle, but I like Nirgle. That's
I think Nirgal is a bit more sinister.
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
agree. It sounds more black metal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Your move. I was gonna say Dirk Benedict, but that's the guy from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
The A team, right?
Udo Dirk Schneider.
Here we go.
We knew we'd find the correct Dirk eventually.
Yeah. It's just again not enough coffee. Then I slip into Battlestar Galactica stars.
It's quite all right. It happens to all of us. Now, you mentioned before we mentioned you have a new book out, but then we sort of veered right away into Vince Neil. Why don't you tell us?
I always
Yes.
forget the big plug. We have to plug.
I was just gonna mention the book. You wrote a whole
Tee
book
it up.
about hockey. Now, are you
whole
a
book.
lifelong hockey fan, or did you just develop this interest in the hobby just for the book?
I have a Hockey Night in Canada sweatshirt on. What do you think? Even though my friend Tom Attila Lewis literally just mailed this to me. But yeah, I mean, sort of the premise of the book is I'm from Cleveland. Thank you. The Paris of Northeastern Ohio, as you all know. But not a big hockey town, but my grandfather was from Clinton, Ontario. And as such, like my siblings and me were raised, basically Canadian. We were forced to learn how to skate at like 3 years old. By the way, I appreciate the Islanders gear.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have killed all of you guys to dress hockey appropriate, but and that's in the book actually. Well, I'm jumping around. So anyway, so I got into hockey, but grew up, not that many kids in my school were into hockey. It's like, everyone, you gotta like the Browns. So I was like a very lonely kid. And then so I wanted to write the book just expressing my frustration that hockey is not the number one sport in America. And also, in my illustrious career, beyond being just a metal god, as we all know, I've been able to do a lot of stuff that I always wanted to do as, comedy and music and writing and acting and whatnot. Like, at least sometimes just a little morsel in my professional life. But hockey is one area like where I never, as we all know, I've never played professionally. So I thought this book
You're gonna
would be
try to make that happen. Like get the
No, my only goal that I'm trying, and actually I'm making progress on this. But anyway, so I wanted to kind of explore hockey and like use my publisher's money to travel around the world and go to hockey games and things like that. Like,
Yes.
I went to Kenya. I played with the one team in all of Kenya, the Kenya Ice Lions. Went to
that's
Finland, saw pro games there.
How was the
And
Kenyan team? Any good?
they were much better than I expected. I expected that I was going to go and just smack them around, but I was mistaken. It probably didn't help that I was like literally like 25, 30 years older than some of them, like, and also really hungover. But because
Who do they
in
play
Kenya,
against? If
they
they're
play-
the
it's
only
re-
team, who else do they play? Who do they play against?
Other countries.
it's more of a club. Like they go out, they play against each other, and then sometimes teams visit from other countries. In my minor defense, it was roller hockey. We were playing roller hockey because their rink was closed, and I'd never played roller hockey before.
Mm.
And I still think if I came back and played ice hockey, I would smack them around a little bit. But what was I going to say? Something. Oh, so this is the thing. The new thing that I really want to play the national anthem on guitar while on skates, even though it's been suggested to me that that second part would be an insurance liability. But I posted on Instagram.
Can't you sign a waiver?
Well, that's I figured, but I posted, and I also want to take a slap shot from the blue line at some point during this.
While the
And
guitar is strapped on, or you'll put the guitar.
maybe I'll
down?
Slap
set it
out with
down.
the guitar?
Oh,
This is
Like-
something to think about.
Like,
This
what if
is-
there was a stick at the, like the neck of the stick on the guitar?
that has to
somehow,
exist, right? There has
It
to be
has
like
to
a-
be, yeah. I
hybrid.
mean,
Or it
what
will
I
exist.
envision- I envision going like da, 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 wanna, da, finish it,
Yeah.
set it down, feedback, maybe I hit some cool pedals, then grab a stick and then just line up 5 pucks, boom. And this is what I envision anyway. So I had my book event in Brooklyn and Dumbo the other night, and some people from the NHL came and were like, we're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
Oh,
So-
wow, that's
Nice.
awesome.
They said, it might, but it's gonna happen. And so so that's probably the closest I'll make to the NHL.
You basically have to mention this now in every interview so that it starts getting traction and picked up, and then
Yeah,
the
exactly. It's
Pressure's
like
on
Canadians of the world have to pick it up.
putting it into the unit. Well, I posted about it on Instagram. I wrote a thing just saying like, this is what I want. And all these people reached out and then a buddy of mine was like, hey, the NHL just hired a new creative director and it's me. And so, or I
What?
don't know if that was I don't know if that's the actual title, but something along those lines. So he got, another NHL person to come to the event. And so, yeah, we're getting and then some other people. But I also should say, I shouldn't say this, but I am willing to work my way up through the minors, not unlike a player
Right.
would. I'm happy to go East Coast Hockey League, AHL, whatever.
Just show the work so that
Yeah.
the big leagues could be like, oh, this could work in our arena.
Exactly. And it's not limited to the American national anthem. I'll do Canadian. And, I'm happy to go to the European leagues.
Would you go to like a soccer game in Mexico and do it? I guess it wouldn't work with ice skates.
I mean, I totally would. Now I really, now that I hear that out loud, I'm like, oh, maybe I kind of want to do that more because
Just
it
mix the
seems like it
sports
would be
up,
more intense. Yeah,
Especially
I
if
mean,
you're playing
maybe,
the American national anthem.
yeah, just to really,
rile them up.
no, I don't know. Like I have this idea that maybe I was thinking the other day that maybe I would just try to play the national anthem at as many sporting events around the world as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's dare to dream.
I mean, there's so
Why not?
many games in so many countries that need people to play the national anthem. These slots need to be filled. You are here to fill some slots.
I'm not even asking for that much. I want a free jersey,
Right.
authentic,
Custom, right?
Yeah,
Authentic
it has
custom,
to
like with
be
your name.
player. Yeah, like authentic game, not a fan jersey. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, I don't like those stickers on the back. It just a few washes, they're gone.
Yeah, you want the patch. You got to have the patch.
Yeah.
And I want that and a couple $100. That's all I'm asking.
Seems
very
reasonable to
reasonable.
me. Yeah.
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 One of my questions was going to be like, what kind of comps were you able to secure now that you're because I feel like hockey in a way, it's like the medal of the sports world. It's like the disrespected, like underdog sort of.
Oh, 1000%. And as I'm sure you guys know, Brian Slagle, huge metal fan. He had like a radio show and podcast with a guy from the NHL that was about metal and hockey, and I was a guest on it a number of years ago, and I was like, this is maybe the greatest thing I've ever done, because it was in the NHL offices, and then at the end of it, I don't know if they were just being nice, but Brian said that I was the first guest that was equally strong in metal and hockey. He said usually the guest can only speak with authority on one of the two subjects, but I brought, as you can imagine, extreme heat on both sides.
As you do to all things.
Yes. Because no, they are very compatible, and metal bands I think often do like a hockey jersey. Amon Amarth, Pantera. I saw a really great Venom hockey jersey on eBay.
Did you buy it?
I kind of circled around it. It was like, I have a price point, what I'm willing to pay for a hockey jersey on eBay, and they wanted a little too much.
You know, when Metallica played at the Islanders' old Nassau Coliseum venue, they did a Metallica version of the fisherman logo. So it's like the fisherman guy.
Yeah, the third jersey
with the skull, with the Metallica skull, and it had Metallica in the Islanders font. It was very cool.
Why did we lose Rob? Did he lose interest?
He's just not a hockey guy, I guess.
Did he just check out entirely?
He's running to put on a jersey.
He's going to drive by in a Zamboni. He just got a deal with dollarloan.com.
I had to go shoot my Zamboni commercial.
The Islanders, if I can say, not to plug my book, The Awesome Game, One Man's Incredible Globe-Crushing Hockey Odyssey, which I insist all viewers and or listeners go by right now. In the book, when I was a kid, my cousins grew up on Long Island, and one year, and this is in the 80s, peak Islanders Stanley Cup dynasty years, a fellow by the name of Brian Trache moved in down the block.
Oh my God.
Yeah, basically, star of the team or one of the stars. And so I was at I was visiting for the summer, and I was like, will you guys take me to meet Brian Trache immediately? And almost all of my cousins wisely said no. But my cousin Molly, who was young enough not to know better, was like, yeah, let's go down to his house right now. So we just walked down the street barefoot and stood on his front lawn until he came outside. And then he did come outside. Yeah. And then so for the book, I interviewed him.
Oh, wow.
He's a chapter in the book, and I tried to bring up the lawn incident, but it didn't really take. But we had.
You didn't remember?
Well, I tried. It was kind of like, I was like, my cousins live down the street from you in Manhasset, and he didn't take the bait really. But I feel like maybe he knew where it was headed. I think my publisher probably told him. We had the same publisher, so I think they basically were like, this weird guy stood on your front lawn, and now, over 30 years later, he's back.
I gotta tell you, I was young when those cups were happening. But my mother took me to see the last cup. I went to the conference finals against Boston. It was amazing. And I didn't like really fully process what I was seeing, because I was too young. But Brian Trottier and all those guys really, and Clark Gillies and Potvin and all those guys they stayed around the culture of the team for so long, and they were like gods. So even though like when I was a teenager, it was like already the 90s or whatever, but you still revered these guys as like Mount Rushmore. So it's like that's an amazing
totally
story.
I went to Clark Gillies, the late great Clark Gillies, from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. You're probably wondering, Dave, have you ever traveled to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan solely because that's where Clark Gillies is from? And the answer is yes, I have. I went to his town. I was in Saskatchewan, and I was like, I made it this far. I'm going to finish the job and go to Moose Jaw. And I even tried to find his childhood home. I was not successful in that mission. But that'll happen. Addresses are obscured sometimes.
If anyone listening knows, hit up Dave.
If you know, yeah.
Did you ask Brian Trottier when you talked to him if he by any chance had the address?
I should have, but I interviewed 3 players that were like kind of meant a lot to me in my youth, and all of the interviews were like Chris Farley talking to Paul McCartney. I was completely terrified the whole time, and like listening back, I sent them to a transcription service.
Oh no!
So I wouldn't have to listen to it myself, because I listened to like a few minutes of each. Talked to Slava Fetisov from the Soviet Union team, Miracle on Ice. He was like that terrifying, and then, played for the Red Wings, and just an amazing player and person. And also, since I interviewed him, has been banned for life from the United States. But
what did he do?
Of your interview.
What's that? Because of I interviewed him before the invasion of Ukraine. And since he holds a position in the Russian government, he was on a long list of people that are no longer welcome.
So your book is theoretically kind of treasonous.
It is. It's a controversial book. It's it's interesting. Like and I ended up not really addressing this in the book because it's meant to be just kind of a humorous light read. But like that happened after I talked to him, and I had a paragraph sort of talking about it, but then it felt a bit jarring in the chapter to be like, oh, by the way, he's banned for life. And then so we said, oh, that doesn't really fit in too well. Plus, I think it was just wrong place, wrong time thing for him.
Yeah.
To happen to be a member of the Russian government. But
wrong place being Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, my point being, but yeah, then there's another guy, Len Frigg, this sort of journeyman player that played for the Cleveland Barons for 1 season. And I sat behind the penalty box when I was a kid, just a little baby boy. And I remember his name so vividly. My whole life, I was just like, where is he now? Like, he's out there somewhere. So for this book, I was like, it's time. I'm going to find him. And I paid $5 to whitepages.com. This is terrifying. And it just is like, and it's this guy's name, and it's like 70 years old. I was like, it's got to be him. And they gave me a phone number. He answers. It's his cell phone. This is how scary this is. And I was like, is this Len Frigg from the Cleveland Barons? He's like, yeah. And, he was like, I played 1 season in the 70s, but I guess. And I stalked him. I just kind of like kept calling him and texting him for a year. And then finally he was like, I'm going to be in New York. And we got together for beers and chips and guacamole. Sure. Okay. and it was completely amazing. Just it just goes to show you, if you stalk someone long enough, anything is possible.
Well, that's how we got
We
you
had-
on the show.
Exactly. I finally was like, fine. No, RIP Livecast. I guess you don't you don't reference the former site anymore, do you?
That is correct.
I won't even mention it. That's how
You're pro.
I'm a complete pro. I don't want you guys to have to do any complicated editing when this episode's over.
Very nice of you.
But I mean, Rob and I have known each other. Yeah. No, Rob and I mean, gosh, we've known each other since, I mean, I believe the first No Life Till Leather demo, I believe. No.
How did you meet?
Yeah,
I don't even know that
I think
story.
it's been like 15 years or whatever.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
What was the meet cute of this relationship? How did you meet each other?
Just like kind of bad motherfuckers club, you know? You like game recognized game. You know what I mean? Like you just like, yeah this guy's cool. I'm cool. Speak together.
Rob was serving drinks.
I think you performed at like a UCB, like one of those like hot tubs or something like that, like one of those variety shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I very much connected with your sense of humor. And then I looked you up and saw that you were into metal, and you had a photo with Dio signing your guitar, and I was like, oh, should get this guy a metal injection. And then
edit
that morphed into the
No, Rob.
I'm far less professional than Dave, but
yeah, Dio. I have a guitar signed this is, I would argue, the only one of its kind. I have an acoustic guitar signed by Ronnie James Dio and Ira Glass, host of This American Life.
Separately, or they did it? They were in the room together when this happened.
No, well, they both did the same show, not together. My old UCB show, and so Dio. He did it in LA the first time I did the show in LA, and it was right before he got back together with Black Sabbath, what was later called Heaven and Hell. And he came. I've never been so nervous, I don't think. He showed up in, full Ronnie James Dio, like he's not like, he wasn't wearing sweatpants. He was fully black lace and looking amazing. And he did the show, and he signed my guitar. And then Ira did the show sometime later in New York, and he's like, who signed your guitar? And I said, Ronnie James Dio. And this is my experience with Dio. There's two kinds of people in this world. There's people that fully understand the majesty of Ronnie James Dio, and then there's people that don't know who Ronnie James Dio is. Like there's no such thing as like vague familiarity with Ronnie James Dio.
He's all right.
It's like it's all or nothing. So I was like, you don't know who Ronnie James Dio is? And he's like, no. And so as he was talking, I was like, this is the yin and yang of my life, basically, is Ronnie James Dio and Ira Glass. That's like the two extremes, my worlds. And so I was like, you have to sign this guitar to balance out the universe, basically.
Was that show ever recorded? Because I saw your show there several times. It was always great, and it's such diverse guests on there. I mean, we had Dick Cavett. I mean, that was one of the best live interview shows I've seen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, he did it a few times, and has since become a dear friend. But no, there was some recordings of it. There's some little clips on YouTube, but really in the sort of years that I was doing that, especially like the best years of it, I would say was like before iPhones, before it would have been so easy to do. Like when those guys were on, it was like you would still have to bring a camera and a tripod and set it up, and So some of it was taped, but yeah, there's sadly not like a really good archive of that stuff.
Sucks.
Yeah, but
We'll always have the memories.
Yeah.
we'll always have the memories. I'm happy, I'm more about street cred anyway. I would rather have people talking on the street about the
Like,
amazing
oh, you
stuff.
should have been there. You should have been there. The Dave Hill explosion. You should have been there, kid.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer that. Like, don't you? I really like hearing about, every show you go to. I saw Quicksand last night here in Philly. Like, people are just taping. There's people that just have their phone up the whole time. And I would much rather have someone tell me about a show I missed than to be like, oh, here's some shitty footage.
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
I would
bad.
like,
Who goes and what? Like, I like taping like 20 seconds just so in my time hop or whatever, like, oh, 3 years ago I was at the show, like, just reminding me that I have my own memories. But I agree with you. I don't see the point of like these pseudo documentarians. Like, we don't need this. We don't need this documented. Put it down.
yeah. And then people like, they'll go like, I should, the band didn't come to my town, so I deserve to be able to see it. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm old enough to remember a time when the band didn't come to your town. You drove to that, whatever the town they were in.
Yeah.
And you go see them. Or you just wait till the next time. I don't know. Grandpa's got a lot of hang-ups, I guess. But, yeah, anyway. But
Band's not getting royalties off of those YouTube bootleg
That's
clips.
exactly right. But the one
You can tag them.
I like going to St. Vitus, like, for many reasons, but among them is there's so few people that do that with the phones there. But then when someone does do it, I'm not afraid. My move is like someone's taping and I stand behind them and I just jab their armpit and then I turn and then I start watching the show like I didn't just do that, and they get spooked and they kind of go like, what happened? What's happening? And then they put the phone away. So it's just a kind of a cowardly way to get rid of it rather than
It's a good strategy.
confronting people. Yeah, but it works every time. You just kind of give a little, or if I've had a bit to drink, throw like ice or an empty cup at their phone, and then also deny that you did it.
And also with St. Vitus, it's even more ridiculous because there's someone there for basically every show at the soundboard documenting the live footage, so you can get it. You don't need to record it.
Yeah, you can get like a really, if you want to see, it's an amazing version of it that's uploaded. Yeah.
But anywho, Dave, thank you so much for your time. And
you're getting rid of me, aren't you?
Wow. Friendship's over, just like that.
This is really awkward. Where did I lose you? Was it the?
It was when you admitted to poking him in the armpit the last time he was.
Realizing it was you that gave me this armpit scar over here. Yeah,
this is. I mean, it's gentle, just sort of not hard, just kind of like just a little tap to be like, hey, stop that.
To disrupt the video.
No, I should go because I told Rob that I think that's why he's getting rid of me and not because of my controversial takes on 38th Special.
And it's your treason. Your treason too. That's the other.
I know. I described exactly what fish Dave Mustaine and I have together when we dine together.
You exposed that fridge behind you. I wanted to follow up about the fridge. Is that like a supplementary fridge, or is that the fridge of the house?
It's the fridge. I mean, let's just get it over with. Let's go out on this. As I remind people to buy my book, The Awesome Game, One Man's Incredible Globe-Crushing Hockey Odyssey, which includes plenty of metal references, by the way.
Someone jabbed you in the armpit while you were filming there.
This is horrible.
Oh,
okay.
Lost Dave. Oh, there he is.
There we go. I'm trying to.
This is
set us. There we go.
The fridge is built into the cabinetry, so it's like
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's
You
beautiful.
know how like when you walk into a kitchen and you see the fridge in plain view, and you're like, "Fuck this kitchen! I didn't come in here to
Disgusting.
see a
Yeah.
goddamn refrigerator."
Who wants?
In this kitchen, it's hidden. It just looks like a cabinet.
It's
So
discreet.
you're not greeted by an unsightly refrigerator. Anyway, but yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have time for one like quick hockey question? Because there
Ooh.
was something you mentioned the Cleveland Barons, and I don't know
sure.
what the time frame is or when exactly this happened, but I mean they left. Like you lost your team. Like I can't fathom any of my teams moving. I don't know if you were old enough. It was probably the 70s, right? So maybe you weren't old enough.
It was the 70s, so
They moved to
I
Minnesota.
wasn't born yet, but weirdly managed to attend the game anyway when I was like 6 years old. I wouldn't be born for another 20 years, but I did somehow manage to go to a game as a 6-year-old. Yeah, they moved to Minnesota, and it was sad because and now Columbus Blue Jackets are the only team in Ohio, NHL team, and people always are like, "Oh, do you like Columbus?" I'm like, "No, I hate that team because I want Cleveland to have a team."
Right.
So yeah, there's been minor league teams in and out of town, but
Isn't there still a
who's your
Cleveland
team?
Barons team, like a minor league Cleveland Barons team or something?
the name is kind of being used now. In fact, in my video for my song about my book, The Awesome Game, as with all my books, I write a song and do a music video because I think that's what an author should do. You can watch this on YouTube, The Awesome Game. I filmed it at the Barons rink, but I think they're like a high level, like youth league, like they have like travel teams, like they're real kids that are really good play for the Barons and travel around and play other kids who are really good and have cool hockey hair and stuff in the Midwest. But yeah, so there is.
Are you a Rangers guy now? Because you're in New York, in the city.
Yeah, I'm a Rangers guy just because, living in New York, I just kind of root wherever. I just into the home. I'm more a lover of the game, so I just root for the home team. And if I didn't live in New York, I would just root for the team wherever I live. But I go Rangers, and if they except for Minnesota,
Right.
If the Rangers get bumped, which historically, has happened every season for the last 29 years. They haven't won the cup since 94, I think.
Yep.
And before that, 1940.
Yeah. And you're probably like, Dave, did you meet Mark Messier when you were 11? Yeah. And did you meet him again after the 94 cup? Yeah, I did. Did I get his autograph both times? Yeah. Did I lose both those autographs? Yeah, also.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. And then but yeah, when the Rangers get bumped, then I just switch to like the next, I like the Islanders, I like the Canadians, I like the Canucks.
Devils? How do you feel about the Devils?
Very anti-Devils.
Me too. Although they look very good this year, but
they do. But I mean, even though they've been in the league for like 30 years now, to my mind, they're a brand new expansion team.
Yes.
And I don't like expansion teams generally. After a certain point, basically, if you join the league after 1985, I consider you a brand new team. and also, I mean, you can read about this in my book, The Awesome Game, One Man's Incredible Globe-Crushing Hockey Odyssey. There is a chapter on jerseys, which, if I can connect it to metal, which I understand is not as much of a priority here as it used to be. But I do talk to Brian Slagle in that chapter because he at one point had the world's largest collection of hockey jerseys. And I talk about the fact that most of the NHL jerseys are a disappointment, and the Devils jersey, you call yourselves the Devils, and the best you can do is have like one letter has a devil's tail on it. Come on. What a missed out. They should have fucking crazy like Baphomet or like a goat, like all crazy. They should have the Venom logo, basically, I think. but
beautiful.
their jerseys suck.
I like their jersey. I think it's a good color scheme. But I get what you're saying. I agree. They could really play up the Satanism here.
Yeah, it just missed. It's a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're scared of backlash. You know, the Devil Rays got rid of devil from their name, and that wasn't even referencing a real devil.
I know. It's
I didn't even
stupid,
realize.
you know? Though I will say the New Jersey Devils' third jersey just says Jersey on it.
The black one.
Yeah, I do like that. I think it's a thing that was hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
And if they were to do a fourth jersey, it should just say sweater. But I do like that they were like, let's do it, guys. And it's like a double meaning. Mm-hmm. Whoever came up with that, like, probably clocked out at noon, was just like, I'm giving myself the rest of the day off. It's too good of an idea. But there we go. Yeah, that's right. That's really good.
That looks really nice.
And if you take out the joke, I mean, it's a nice looking jersey too.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I'd almost take back everything I just said, because I would totally wear that jersey, even though I don't like the Devils. But
they need a Tony Soprano patch on the sleeve there.
Yeah, yeah, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I should go. We're gonna go get some lunch, and I realized I blew it early on with the 38 special stuff, and I apologize.
What?
I don't know.
Great.
I'm gonna text Rob. I feel like something I pissed Rob off in this episode, and I don't know what I did. And
we'll talk offline.
Even though I'm open to socializing with all of you, the three of you, Rob and I, are the only ones that really spend any time together. I'm not complaining to you guys, but anyway, I'm just saying, like, Rob and I, there's more on the line. And I feel like I've upset him because we have a friendship that goes beyond the screen right now. And I guess we'll talk about it soon. I don't know what happened.
Perhaps
Rob's
therapy.
Rob's relationships are notoriously mercurial, so don't feel bad. I mean, this happens.
But that's how we keep it going. But yeah, I'll let you guys beef up the back end of the show with content that will be of value to your fans, and I'll just take my leave.
Thank you
so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, and great to see you guys as always. Handsome as always. And
the same.
And everyone buy my book, or I'll be sad.
That's right. Thank you, Dave. The book is The Awesome Game: One Man's Incredible Globe-Crushing Hockey Odyssey, and you can get it everywhere.
I've already ordered it.
What a delightful human being.
I think
you're joining Dream Theater.
Wait, what's going on? Wait, hold on. What did you say? Sorry,
I just saw there's a question about what do you think about Mike Quaternary rejoining Dream Theater? I think it's good. I'll go out on that.
All right.
I'll go out on that. I'll go out big.
Good one. All right.
Dave Hill, everybody.
Dave Hill, bless his heart.
Tremendous.
Yeah,
who asked that? I missed the chat.
Colin.
I was on full screen. I didn't see the chat.
And I want to mention. So one thing I want to talk about, off topic of Dave Hill or hockey or anything.
Can I just say one thing about Dave Hill before we move on to the next thing? We just saw him in Kevin McDonald's. I wanted to mention this, but Dave had to go. Right. Kevin McDonald's show. He had a big part in that, and he played a lot of the guitar parts.
It was great.
And that was fantastic. I don't know. Does he tour with, or is he just because he was in New York? Is he part of that show?
I'm not
all
sure.
around the tour? Because if he is, go see him and see the show anyway. But Dave was great in that too.
But yeah, so changing gears a little, I saw the new Mission Impossible movie last night, and the reason I was excited to see, and I have to say, for a Mission Impossible movie, it was excellent. No complaints. Moves really quickly. Very easy plot to follow, and just lots of cool, original, new action scenes where, like, it really got me to put my phone down and just pay attention, because it was like, wow, this is really high end.
I think it's getting to the point where it's fair to say that could be the best action franchise ever. Like there are no bad movies in it, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, like some of the stuff, I'm just like, wow, like they put the camera on the motorcycle that Tom Cruise is right. Like you're just right there. It's so cool. But the reason I was excited to watch this is because the plot of the movie, the villain of the movie, is this AI known as the Entity. And I read that recently our president, Joe Biden,
also known as the Entity,
watched this movie and watching this movie helped him grasp the dangers of AI, and which is why he passed certain legislation. I want to read this excerpt from this Associated Press article.
Someone should help him grasp his sippy cup before he worries about grasping AI.
The issue of AI was seemingly inescapable for Biden. At Camp David one weekend, he relaxed by watching the Tom Cruise film Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. The film's villain is a sentient and rogue AI known as the Entity that sinks a submarine and kills its crew in the movie's opening minutes. Quote, if it hadn't already been concerned about what could go wrong with AI before that movie, he saw plenty more to worry about. Said Reed, who watched the film with the president. Governments around the so having this knowledge, right. I'm watching the movie, and it adds such a fun layer to the movie of just imagining how this senile old man interprets certain like the exposition of explaining what the Entity is, and there's a scene where Tom Cruise is running, and one of the tropes of the film is Simon Pegg's character is always in his ear directing him where to go. And at some point, the Entity hacks into that feed and using AI mimics Simon Pegg's voice to give Tom Cruise improper directions. Right. So I'm just imagining Biden being like, they can't do that, can they? My God, we got to stop it. So I have to say, beyond this being a great action movie, I highly recommend watching it because of how simplistic the plot is, and imagining how that simplistic plot is completely freaking out the guy with his finger on the button.
Can I just also add that this is like on number 8 million on the list of things that people were afraid of Trump being the president over, and Joe Biden is doing all of them. Like he's going to watch a movie and think it's real and blow up a country. Like now it's real again. I mean, not that wasn't important to
be fair, that Trump also happened with Trump, didn't it?
Yes. I'm not saying Trump didn't do this stuff. I'm just saying Fox News is going to tell him what to do, It's the same.
I'm sorry. I'm confusing my stories. The story I was thinking of was Trump would watch Bloodsport and fast forward through all the non-action scenes. just get to the fights. Just get to the blood.
To be fair, that is a good way to watch Bloodsport. Just saying. Not to defend Trump at all.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But no, it's a fun movie. I don't know. Sid, are you a fan of the Mission Impossible series?
I think maybe the second one was the last one that I saw. So I've sort of lost track.
They do a very good job of giving you like what you expect from the movie, but also putting a twist on it so that it's like each movie's kind of fresh. So you're getting the second movie basically over and over, but it's different enough that it's very interesting.
Okay.
And exciting.
Yeah.
I feel there's just too many at this point. I would have to go back and watch them all. It's just not going to happen.
You could just watch this new one. There's like a previously on that kind of explains everything you'd need to know.
I still haven't even seen the last Top Gun movie.
I don't care about that.
But that was
I never liked the first one that much.
Yeah, same. But that was like the biggest hit of the year it came out. Like what was it?
Yeah, that was just because it was the first movie back in theaters. That's why. Or one of the first.
First blockbuster, I suppose, back in theaters.
The other thing that was weird about the movie was that Simon Pegg now looks older than Tom Cruise because only one of them is clearly,
only one of them's aging,
doing Botox.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say only one of them cleared his thetans.
I guess that too. I guess if you're
unless Simon Pegg is also a Scientologist, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Simontology.
I mean, you hang around Tom Cruise that much, eventually he's gonna
Leak.
convince you, probably,
Oh.
right? Like he's been in all the movies with him, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Was he in
No.
the first one?
recruitment.
No.
Yeah, he only started when J.J. Abrams took over. I think it
Yeah.
was like the second or third one.
Ving Rhames.
El
was in it.
Duderino points out that today is not only his birthday, happy birthday, Duderino, but also Babka's birthday, which I completely did not put together.
Wow.
Just it is my it's Babka's 6 years old. I mean, I actually realized it last week, but
Rob,
I
she
forgot
doesn't
about
know.
it.
Though it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
She doesn't remember
Uh,
how old you are either.
Yeah,
It's
But
more
it's great.
reflects poorly on you than her. Like it's fine.
she's now at the halfway point. It's kind of scary. I don't like.
Well,
Jeez, don't let her
she's
do that.
is it 6 years since she was born, or you adopted her?
No, I adopted her when she was like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay.
So we've just we've declared November 4th as her birthday. That's just
Okay.
the number we picked, like
Fair.
arbitrarily, just based on the months of away, and the way it was determined was how quickly her teeth fell out or something like that from the vet.
When you smacked her in the face that time?
No, ever.
When you found her, how dare you run away from me? I love you.
Learn her a lesson.
That's what I did. But my cat, they gave me a birth date, so it was like a year and a month before I got him. But that could have been rounded off. Who the fuck knows?
Probably.
But I have been given some information about his birthday, so I use that.
Have you guys watched any movies recently that stuck out to you?
No.
I've been watching. I have to watch a shit ton of movies for my schooling. So I've been like kind of delving. I've been sort of more. It's like a morass of movies that I have to watch for school. So I've been lagging behind on watching new things. But I wanted to tell you, Rob, I watched Man with a Movie Camera. I might have mentioned this to you, which is like an old classic movie, but it's a documentary, but by Soviet Russians in the 30s. And it's just insane. They do stuff in this documentary that you do not see like done today. It was just they were figuring out how to make movies, basically. And it's just a day in the life of like Soviet Russia. And just people going to work, coming home, working at factories, blah, blah, blah. It's just phenomenal. I recommend that to anybody if you just like cinematic experiences. It's like an IMAX movie. Basically, it's like the 30s equivalent of an IMAX. They're just showing off what the camera can do, basically. And it's so good.
That's cool. Also, this story is a little old, but we could quickly run through it because this is my kind of gossip.
Oh boy!
And it's I guess now former NBA player, right? Dwight Howard, not in the NBA.
I mean, I don't think he's officially retired, but
Nobody wants him.
Yeah, he tried out for the
Inactive.
Warriors, I think, and they ended up not signing him for the season.
Well, Dwight Howard was recently accused of sexual assault, which he denies. And the sexual assault accusation, the twist here is they come from a man.
Oh, a man. He assaulted a man sexually.
Assaulted a man sexually. Allegedly. So, here's the ESPN article. Former NBA star Dwight Howard has denied sexual assault and battery allegations filed against him earlier this year and asked the court to dismiss a civil lawsuit he is facing in Georgia. In court documents obtained by ESPN, Howard said Monday that he engaged in, quote, consensual sexual activity with a man named Stephen Harper. So that was when the story was initially released, it was like, hey, I'm a man, and I discussed, I exchanged messages with Dwight Howard on Instagram, and we were going to have sex, and then he assaulted me. And then Dwight Howard's response was like, there was no assault, which I thought was a little comedic because it was just like, well, wait a minute. And also a little Sexy.
Now, is Dwight Howard? I'll ask Sid this because I'm like not as up on NBA culture as you are. Is there like some kind of open secret that Dwight Howard is gay, or is this new information?
This is. I feel like this is the first indication of it.
His story back in the day was, so when he came into the league, he was like this super Christian dude. His whole thing was, I'm gonna bring the word of God to people. Like I'm gonna use my NBA platform to spread the word of God and wholesome family values.
I remember
And
that.
then very shortly after he got into the league, it came out that he had like 5 kids by 5 different women. So that was his thing.
He's spreading
then
his
his
seed.
thing-
That's
yeah.
biblical.
And then his thing became that all his teammates hated him and he was really fucking annoying. And then now I guess this is his thing.
So in the original complaint, Harper's lawyer said that he and Howard first began corresponding over direct messages on Instagram in May 2021, with Harper initiating the exchange. Harper accused Howard of sexually assaulting him at Howard's home during the subsequent encounter. Quote, "We fully anticipated Mr. Howard to raise the issue of consent in his answer." Harper's complaint also accused Howard of intentional infliction of emotional stress and false imprisonment. Howard's response denied those allegations. Quote, "What was a private consensual encounter was made public for profit, and Mr. Howard looks forward to bringing the truth to light in a court of law." So he claims that the other thing was, I remember, was that it wasn't just Howard. It was Howard and another male friend of his that like held him against his will. And
Well, I think the
assaulted
thing
him.
was the guy came over thinking it was just going to be him and Dwight Howard fucking.
Right.
And then Dwight's like, actually, no, this guy is going to be part of it too. And the accuser was like, no, I'm not into that.
Right.
And they were like, well, you're going to be.
Well, he can't play too many minutes. You know, he's got to get a little breather.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine he's there
Thinking the backup
fucking.
center.
There's like a guy standing on the sidelines doing in his warm ups, like ready to come in
With
the
the
game.
tearaway pants, and then he's just naked underneath them.
And then at the next horn, he comes in and starts fucking.
No, the horn is right.
That's great.
I really
mean,
hope these charges are false, because us goofing on all this might be a bad luck. But yeah,
I'm not goofing on the rape. I mean, it's just funny to think of a basketball player tagging out and coming in.
Yeah, and I think I tend to believe Dwight Howard in this. This does seem to be like
Seems fishy.
if you don't hook me up, I'm going to tell everybody you're gay.
Oh, so wait. So maybe I heard Rob wrong when he was reading the story. I thought Dwight Howard said, yes, I did fuck him, but it was consensual. Is that
yeah.
so? He is gay,
Or at least bisexual, but I think he's
bisexual.
sort of like to take that aspect of blackmail away from the accuser.
I see.
It's like, I'll just fess up to that because
right.
whatever.
Well, he actually recently did an Instagram live where he addressed like, oh, you know, what we're talking about here. So let me play that. Somebody on Twitter grabbed it.
Oh boy.
So here's his response.
Y'all can stop with the nonsense. Worry about all this bull crap. Mind your business. Well, they say you going on dates.
So this was an Instagram live, so he's responding to people. So somebody just did like a supercut. That's why there's cuts.
Bro, why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with? That's the problem with y'all people. Y'all worried about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business. Whatever you doing in your bedroom is your damn business. That ain't for everybody. And everybody don't need to know. You ain't got to say anything about what you doing in your fucking house. It's your house. You ain't got to explain that to nobody, no matter what they say. They can say anything. Who gives two shits? Y'all too damn nosy. Worried about.
To be fair, when you get accused of assault, then you're going to have to go ahead and explain what you did in your house to a court of law.
Sure.
Yeah, as
Also,
long as it's consensual. Well, he's arguing it was consensual.
Yeah.
So is he sort of accidentally the second out gay NBA player?
It seems like it, right? Yeah.
Who's the first? Who's the
Jason Collins. But he just
Oh,
he
that's
admitted
right.
it. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. But
And
that
he
guy
was
like a
Admitted it.
still
That's not the word I
technically
want to
in the
use. He came out. I don't
revealed
think he
it,
admitted it. It makes it sound negative. I'm sorry.
And then he was on the Nets for a few games.
Worried
and then
about what I'm
his career ended after that.
Yeah.
doing in my bed. Hell, the people who know what's going on in my bed, they know what the hell going on with my bed.
I bet they
And
do.
what the hell I do in it? That ain't for everybody on the internet. That ain't for no blogs. That ain't for no websites. I don't got to tell nobody where I put my wood at.
Oh,
Since y'all want to get to it.
damn. Like Dave Hill
That
with
ain't nobody-
his guitar shooting the shots at the national anthem.
Now I'm picturing Dwight Howard shooting slap shots with his cock.
Oh my God.
I bet Rob's
Oh
picturing
my
that
God.
as well.
Absolutely.
Business.
Cold? It
where
has
I
to
put
hit the
my
ice
shit
at
at.
some point.
Y'all just weird.
Oh man, a
If you want to
frozen
know what
puck hitting
people
your
doing in
body.
their bedroom and who they messing with and sleeping with, you are weird. You're the weird one. Oh shoot, y'all heard about that? Dwight. They said Dwight was in a text messaging a guy. Nigga, who cares?
I mean, it's
Who cares
I
who I
care.
was text messaging?
You
You
care
just
in a
mad 'cause I
positive
want
way.
text messaging. Yo, ugly ass.
Oh,
That's what it is.
They're Yeah. jealous of the. I am.
Worrying about the wrong
Hit
stuff.
me up, Dwight.
Focus on you.
Would you fuck Dwight
Worrying
Howard?
about who and somebody
Absolutely.
dead and
I
what
was
they
telling
doing and
Sid
they
that,
old.
like, what the story of this, when he rose to fame with the slam dunk contest. I remember watching, being like, "Oh my goodness, hello, Dwight Howard," and then Sid was like, "Oh well, he's like super Christian, you know," and I was like, "Oh, that's a shame," not realizing, see, my gaydar was way lower. At the
I don't blame you. He does not send off gay vibes to me.
Well, I think the aesthetics would really caught my attention of it. Like, he used to be very muscular.
Oh yeah, he still is. Yeah, he's jacked as fuck.
I
But
think
to be
he's
fair,
he's-
I had no
he's
idea
not
Rob was
as
gay.
defined.
He's getting older.
Yeah, exactly. But still would not kick him out of bed.
But you're not put off by sexual assault allegation. Oh, you know you're BJJ now, so
Yeah,
yeah,
Rob
no,
can
it's
hold
kind
his
of
own.
part of the fun.
Wow! Holy shit!
If only Dave Hill was here to hear that.
Also, probably Rob, like if Dwight Howard was there and was like, "Do you mind if my friend joins?" Rob would probably be into it anyway. Like, I don't,
I
think
don't
that
know.
would be a-
I can understand that though. Like,
What if it was
I
Stan
don't-
Van Gundy, his former coach?
Absolutely. That's the fear. It's like, what if it's somebody that I'm 100% not attracted to? Like,
don't
I don't
find
want to have
Stan
to pretend. Yeah, sorry, Stan Van Gundy's not really
Daddy-
my
I will
type.
say, Stan. I've seen him on
Napoleon-
TV during the new season. He's lost weight. He looks good. He looks a lot better.
Let's see what he looks like. I'm gonna look up what he looks like.
Yeah,
Still
but
way
that
better
might
looking than his brother Jeff.
But
See,
that,
as
so I'm
soon as-
saying, like, to the point of the accuser, I can understand how that completely kills the vibe. You know,
right.
Uh,
But also,
someone-
Rob, like as soon as Rob says yes, that might kill the vibe for Dwight Howard. He might like springing somebody on the person and like you're gonna fuck this guy.
Oh,
And
that might be his kink. I see what
Yes.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Rob says yes. He's like, wait, I'm not into.
I
this
don't want
shit
you
anymore.
into it. Yeah,
This is lost
a
weight.
lot of these pictures are older.
Those are
I'm
old,
telling
for
you,
sure.
he's lost a lot of weight since these pictures.
There's one there where it says "Family Matters." I think that's where he lost a little weight. I don't know. if you
This
saw
is
it.
this more.
I
I
just
mean,
saw it
it
in the-
still looks. This is from the past month.
No, these
these
are old,
photos.
but these.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, the guy's not a fashion plate, but
yeah.
he dropped a few pounds.
Not my
Yeah.
type, anyway.
Fair. Too light
Jeff Van
skin.
Gundy closer, but not
What?
there yet.
Jeff Van
Not there.
Gundy.
Yeah, he's svelte, you know. He's-
Closer, but not there yet. I'm saying.
No, Mrs. Deuterino says she had to work with Dwight Howard at some point, and he can be really obnoxious.
Well,
Yeah,
'Cause you
I can
see,
that.
I've heard these things about him that like teammates didn't like him, blah blah blah. And with this story coming out, it sort of made me like reframe that as like, did the teammates know he was gay and were just super homophobic, or is it
Yeah.
actually a personality thing?
Well, I
And
mean,
maybe it is both. Or
he's
just a
annoying.
personality.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's annoying just in that video. I mean, whining. Like, who the fuck? If you got $11 quadrillion from playing a sport, like, just turn off Instagram. Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
yeah.
fair.
I'm surprised he honestly. I'm surprised he even acknowledged it.
Just such a speed
Publicly,
trap.
that is.
Yeah.
Get involved in that shit. Like, just go, have fun, suck a dick here and there, do what you want to do, and turn it off. Like, why are you responding to people? They're homophobes out there. We know this. I mean,
Yeah.
easier said than done. I get it. You have to go out in the world if you're gay or you LGBT. It's not easy, but don't make it harder for yourself and you're a public figure by reading all this stuff.
Absolutely.
But you still, if Dwight is watching, Rob, you want him to know that you're down.
Yeah, hit me up. And send pics of what your friend looks like. Maybe we can figure something out.
Would that be your first experience with someone taller than you?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Would you be the bottom?
Oh my God, he would break you.
If he was the
I don't
top
think I can
only.
handle Dwight Howard.
Like if he's I'm only a top. Sorry.
There's plenty of ways two tops can have fun without.
I don't go down on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, by
Little sword
tagging in Stan Van Gundy. That's how the two tops are.
Would you prefer Hato Turkoglu? Do you remember Hato Turkoglu, Rob?
I do not.
His Turkish teammate from the Magic, who my friend's sister once referred to as looking like someone who works at a deli.
Yeah, let's see that.
Which is still my favorite insult I've ever heard lobbed at anyone ever.
Rob, Muggsy Bogues, you tear that ass up.
Oh my God. Muggsy Bogues is probably packing.
How
It's probably a
about
tripod.
Yeah, I could see that. How about Manu Ginobili? Interesting.
He's handsome.
Little European Latino action
Argentinian.
there. Oh, I thought he was Spanish.
Argentinian.
I mean Spaniard, I meant.
Yeah, close enough. It's basically the same thing.
It's all the racist Spaniards that have fled the country.
Yeah.
Not really he's not quite my type, no.
Are you looking at a modern picture of him or an older picture of him?
Mm-hmm.
You need him with the full head of hair. Like the early aughts look.
He started
full head of hair is
balding
closer.
during his career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like LeBron.
Very respectable. Is this the rest of the episode? Is just us naming NBA players and asking Rob if he'd fuck them?
Well,
Sure.
We're about to wrap up anyway. Derrick Rose was the other one that I had a crush on, of the modern or like last generation NBA stars.
And I had to break to Rob that he also had a sex assault trial.
Sad.
I got one for you, Rob. He's about your height.
Mm-hmm.
He's a white guy. May put you off. He's very, very light skinned, but he's got like a certain aesthetic you may like. Keith Van Horn.
Let's see.
Mormon.
Keith Van Horn. Oh, is he? I didn't know.
Well, he
that.
played for Utah, so I assume. But maybe
Just
not.
looks like Neil Brennan to me.
Wow, okay, I could sort of see that. Like a roided up Neil Brennan, I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Nets, how about Stephon Marbury?
Oh yeah.
Another sex
that
scandal.
was Stephon Marbury.
Did he have a sex scandal? How am I missing
Well, with
all
the
this
Knicks,
shit?
remember there was like he was like jerking off in his Jeep in front of employees or something. There was like a whole
off my radar completely. I did not.
Yeah,
know.
Remember when like
Stephon
Isaiah
Marbury, I would
Thomas
say.
sued and the team got sued by a former female employee and
Oh,
all
he was
this
in
like
that?
dirty laundry came out. I think that was
Oh, Stephon, what are you doing? Giving
he's
those,
also eating fucking Vaseline on live streams.
giving that's like innocuous weirdo stuff, though. That's not
Well-
like. But he's giving all those sneakers away to these kids. They might have jizz on them now. Who knows? Here you go,
Taylor
kid.
agrees with me. D Rose can get it.
Hero's an attractive man. How about Jalen Rose? He attractive.
Who's Birdman?
Chris Anderson, he's a white dude who had a bit of like a drug problem and was in and out of the league. He also is famous for in the slam dunk contest. He like missed his first dunk like 10 times in a row before finally getting it. They had to implement you can only try X amount of times before we just count you out rule after him.
I thought you meant the Larry Bird. How about him?
No, that's
Oh
Some of that?
my God.
I mean, in his prime, obviously.
There's
want
no
none of
such
that.
thing. Like, what do you mean? Physical, like as a player, there's a prime. Attractiveness, there is no prime for Larry Bird.
He looked better though.
Yeah. Primeless.
Less old. How about
right.
George Murison?
Oh my God. Remember My Giant, Rob?
Yeah.
Remember that movie with Billy Crystal?
Manute Bull, one of those two. A threesome.
Well, Manute Bol's dead, sadly, but his son, Manute Bol's son, is in the NBA right now. He plays for the Suns.
Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Bowl.
Rob, no.
no.
He's looking.
What about Victor Wembanyama? Somebody mispronounced his name in the chat earlier, but or misspelled his name. But he's the new up and coming
Oh.
best player in the league.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's see what. Oh, well, he's
He's 7'4".
Yeah, this isn't working.
7'4" with point guard
hands are
skills.
so fucking creepy.
But he's a handsome man. He doesn't look like a
He's
freak of
handsome,
nature.
absolutely.
He's
But
just a very
the
tall.
whole body thing is. I don't know how I would feel about somebody that much taller than me.
That's an interesting question.
But you're probably heavier than him, so you could probably still like grapple him down.
Yeah.
Or hold him down if you got on top of him.
I mean, like that's
You could top them
crazy.
easily.
That's crazy reach.
Yeah. It's like 8 feet.
I mean, I've topped
wingspan.
tall guys. It's fun, but you know, both have their pluses and minuses.
Sure.
Anyway, let's
You'd
talk
be
about our
the
Spotify
victor in that matchup.
Every week we each pick a song and we throw it on our Spotify playlist. You can search for it at RIP Livecast Music Break. And we have like 5 days of songs. It's fun. You can get into it. There's in fact 585 songs in the playlist. 38 hours, not quite 5 days.
Jesus.
It's almost a work week.
But my pick this week is from a group called Knower, exactly the
former
way
co-host?
Thor Shretzi pronounces Noah's name. Knower, Knower. For metalheads, there was a viral video of this duo that called themselves Clowncore. And
Is that not just ICP? And Twisted?
This is the musicians from that, and they're in kind of like a dancey alt pop band. And this is a very catchy song called "I'm the President," and lovely vocals by a very, very cute girl. And so it's a fun little project. I've been getting into Knower. My friend Anthony recommended them to me, so that's my pick. Also, Dave Hill, we forgot to ask him why he picked this, but he submitted a track by Saint Lennox. Arthur is at a Shiva. Oh.
Is that a vague anti-Semitic choice for knowing how Semitic the livecast hosts are? He's like, what's the Jewiest song on my playlist? Here you go, guys.
Sid, what did you pick?
In honor of Dave Hill's hockey book, I picked a hockey-themed song called "My Baby Put Me in the Penalty Box" by Boris the Sprinkler. It's a good pop punk, garage punk song, very quick, a lot of hockey references in it. Good song. Darren?
In honor of Dave Hill's hockey book, I picked a song by the Arrogant Worms called "Me Like Hockey," which I heard many years ago. Weird Al mentioned it in an interview once.
Oh, wow.
And I went and sought it out based on his recommendation, and it's very funny and a very good song. And I love hockey, so I identify with this song.
Nice.
Very cool. And of course, I want to mention you can get all of our links that I'm about to talk about. You can find at riplivecast.com. You can always send us your feedback. Let us know what you think of the show. Have any questions, comments, criticisms, riplivecast@gmail.com. And if you want to chat with us throughout the week, we are very active on Discord. The invite, again, at riplivecast.com. And say you want more episodes. What's that? You want more? We got more for you, baby. Show us your support and get 2 bonus episodes a month at patreon.com/riplivecast. With $5 a month, you get 2 bonus episodes. You get access to Sid's weekly TV recommendations. You get a little flair in the Discord. Get a little different color username. It's nice. It's cute. And you get these bonus episodes. We just posted a listen along to Lou Reed and Metallica's Lulu. We listened to the entire album and sat here and tortured ourselves live on camera and commented in real time as the lyrics scrolled. And we were just trying to make out what the hell was going on.
Slight spoiler. I disliked it slightly less after re-listening to it.
We found things to like riffs that could have been repurposed and not bad.
Still bad.
Yeah.
But overall, it is bad, but they're not as bad as we once assumed.
But still very bad.
But
We need to make
still
that
very
clear.
bad, still very bad, but with some redeeming qualities. Would
Yes.
that be a fair description?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, which I wouldn't have said before recording that episode.
Absolutely. And of course, if you want to throw us a few extra bone, $10 a month, you get to be a top Livecast fan of the week, which gets you a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. And how are we doing these shout outs, Sid?
Oh,
Yep.
Sid.
Darren's
Why
got
does
it.
Sid get the pick?
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Is this Sid's job now?
Darren, how do we do it?
You are Joe Biden watching Mission Impossible, and each of these people is making a cameo, and you're learning something about the world.
Before that, Sid, what does RIP stand for?
Oh, do we want to just R.I.P. Matthew Perry? He's a famous person that died
Oh.
this week, who was
Sure.
amusing at times. I was never like the biggest Friends fan, but he was the most watchable thing on that show, I'd say.
Yeah, he was certainly the funniest person on the show, easily.
Also, in honor of Dave Hill's sister's refrigerator, I would say relatives ice cold pantry.
Okay, that's good. Well, here are our top Livecast fans of the week. What is this AI? This AI, it seems to be coming for this guy Eric. Somebody needs to save this guy Eric. I'm Joe Biden. I don't know, Darren. Do you have a take here?
What do you mean, like to do Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to get the list up. I thought you were gonna do it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Richard Roundtree also died. R.I.P. Shaft. There you go. Thank you,
Benjamin,
Mr. Dean.
you remind me of Richard Roundtree in the great movie Mission Impossible. I saw when you and Dan R. and Mindy Mays Kipo fell off of that building while a motorcycle was coming. We got to make sure this doesn't happen in Ukraine. She and Hugo like Hampos. You guys are on PIR Livecast. I love that show. Listen to it every Monday. Landon Danks, LaCroix. Oh man, I remember when Tom Cruise and Dwight Howard were having sex in that one scene. I couldn't take my eyes away from it. We got to be careful. Make sure it doesn't permeate into the streets with the fentanyl. Corey Scotty H. Douglas. Oh, you love us. Yeah, back in the old days, I remember Corn Pops told me about this, but I never realized it would come to pass until I saw the great Mission Infinite Furious number 10. Thank you very much.
All right. That's our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully you can join us. If not, I don't know.
Download it later. That's fine.
Yeah, but join us if you can. Though.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.